Hello or welcome back. If you are new to the channel, I take you on hikes with me to enjoy beautiful places and to share how I do on-location art. Hello, I'm heading out for another hike today. I'm heading up the mountain again, out 410 toward Mount Rainier. I'm going to try the Rainier View Trail. I went on it a few years ago and I got mauled by mosquitoes the last time I was there, so hopefully it's not so bad this time. I've been recovering from a surgery. They removed about half of my thyroid. I've got the knife wound covered up, but I'm healing up and feeling better. I'm waiting for the results to come back and feeling like I can handle a short, easy hike today and a painting. So we'll see how we get on. First up, get some Starbucks. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell as well, so you get notified when I upload a new video. Alright, change of plans. The road up to Rainier View is closed still. Not sure why. The online resource said that the road was kind of ragged but open. Something must have changed. Maybe a recent fire that I didn't hear about. So instead we're going to try the Deep Creek Trail and the White River Trail. Going to hike along here a little bit. Not going to climb any steep hills today. I'm just not feeling it. But I do want to get out and maybe I can find a pretty spot to paint along one of these creeks. I've hiked this trail before. If I remember right, there's a pretty little creek up ahead with a log bridge. Maybe a nice place to stop and paint. It's a beautiful day. A slight breeze. No bugs so far. The sky did clear up. It was cloudy earlier, but now the sun is out, so really pleasant out here, nice and cool. Here's the evidence of the fire. I'm not sure when this occurred. I didn't hear about one in this area. It may have been a year or two ago. Or it may have been while I was in Japan and I just didn't hear about it. Wow, this area looks so different from the last time I was here. The fire really changed it. Last time I was here, this was all in deep shadow, deep trees overhead. There's quite a few big trees left, but a lot of them have been knocked down. Must have become damaged by the fire. And so the Forest Service came in and chopped them down. Really opened up, lighted up this little valley. Just a couple quick tips about hiking, especially if you're hiking alone. Here in the Pacific Northwest, there are bear and cougar and wolves. So, be aware of your surrounding. I often hike with my headphones in if I'm on a well-traveled path, but if I'm off alone or if I'm in an area where they've seen a bear, I make sure to pull my headphones out and just stay aware, make noise once in a while. I have bear bells that I wear that jingle to alert the animals that I'm nearby. Another quick couple tips: wear good boots. I've got these excellent Salomon boots that come up quite high on my ankle, so there's really low risk that I'll turn my ankle. I hike alone a lot and I really don't want to get stranded waiting on another hiker to save me. Another really essential tool while you're hiking is a walking stick. A lot of people use two. I like to have one, and as I'm walking I tend to keep it on the downhill side, so if I do lose my balance, it's a little less likely that I'll take a tumble down a hill. Another good reason to carry a walking stick is you can use it to kind of sweep the path ahead of you and clear it of any cobwebs, spider webs. This might be the spot. Sure is pretty. Got a nice flat area, a lot of shade, so it shouldn't be baked or blinded by the sun. So I'm gonna walk a little bit further down the path, and then I may come back and set up here. Okay, here's the scene. I've found the place I want to paint. Let me show you. I'm going to paint this little rapid coming down by that old rotted log. I like the patterns on the log. I like that boulder in the background and that red fallen log kind of in the foreground, or at least in front of the little rapid. In this area of the country, there's just too many beautiful things to paint. You really have to be selective, or the complexity and the amount of growth and all of the different textures and scenes will overwhelm you. At least they do me. So I have to edit it. I'm going to restrict myself to an 8x10 panel today, so that I can get done in a reasonable amount of time. Alright, I'm pretty much set up. I'm using the stained panel today, 8x10. I'm using a panel that's pre-toned with a warm color because of all of the greens and blues in this scene. I think the warm undertone will accent or bring out the greens. Standard colors on the palette today. One change, I'm using radiant white from Gamblin instead of titanium white. I'm going to give that a try. Cad red, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, cerulean blue, sap green, cad yellow light, cad yellow, burnt sienna, and burnt umber. I'm going to start with just turpentine. I use turpentine outdoors with the burnt sienna to do the sketch. And then I'll switch to a mix of turpentine and liquid, Winsor Newton liquid, on my gesso panel. That combination dries quickly, which is important when you're kind of racing the clock out here plein air. Okay, there's the rough sketch done. Now I'm going to move to a bigger brush and lay in the darkest darks. Using a number 8 flat for this. I'm not going to worry about mixing colors perfectly at this point, since I'm just going to be mixing up my darkest darks for the shadows. I will pay attention to the shadow color though. If it's a reddish shadow, I'll use more alizarin crimson. If it's a bluish shadow, I'll use ultramarine blue. And if it's greenish, I'll use my sap green. Each of those mixed with burnt umber will create a very dark, almost black, but with that right hue. And I've started to add more liquid now. Okay, I put on a little bug spray. I saw a few mosquitoes buzzing around. I don't want to get bit up. Alright, so I'm starting to mix my colors. I want to get that bolder color. So I've taken some white, cerulean blue, alizarin crimson, and then my burnt umber and ultramarine blue brown mix. So I got kind of a lavender color going here. It's too red. I need to bring it down toward brown. So the way to kill the red is to add green. I'm going to grab up some of this green that I was using earlier to block in and dump that in. And now it's too dark. But the tone, the hue is getting close. I'm going to add a little more white to part of the pile and see if I can get the right value. I'm adding some liquid and turpentine to keep it really fluid at this point. It works, it helps to just mix up some pools of color and to grab and go. Don't worry about matching the local color too exactly, but get as close as you can within a couple minutes and then call it good. It's more important to get the value, the dark or light value correct than it is to nail the color exactly, in my opinion. That's about the right value. Now I just need to get that lavender hue back. That's pretty darn close. Just subtle lavender color. Okay, so I'm going to set that pile aside. It's kind of a small palette, so I mix up a few colors, block them in, and then come back and mix more. Okay, the next color I want to mix is the light brown and dark brown of that big log. So I've got some of my burnt sienna, burnt umber pile over here. We'll start with that. I use this to draw the sketch. I'm going to add this pile of brownish gray to dull it down. Got a little more of a pile here of brownish green. That'll kill the red just a little bit. That's a good mid-tone for the wood in the scene. I'm going to grab that pile and set it aside. And what I have left here, I'm going to go dark. I'll grab some of this lavender dark. I'm going to grab a little bit of little more burnt sienna. Get some richness. And some burnt umber. Give it the dark value. That's a little darker. And then for the really dark areas, I'll dip into the burnt umber and the alizarin crimson. Okay, now with what I have left here, I'm going to grab the light wood, the lightest wood. So more white. That wood has some warmth, so I'm going to grab Cav yellow medium and sienna. A little intense for most of that wood. So I'm going to preserve a little pile of that to play with, but the rest of this I'm going to dull down with this gray. From my boulder. So mixing these colors, it'll keep the harmony. Don't worry about mixing up a lot. When you're oil painting, you're going to waste some paint. You can do a lot of things to be smart and save your paint, but don't be worried about throwing some paint away. It's more important to have enough to lay the color on thick when you need to. And it's really frustrating if you mix up a beautiful color like this and then you run out of paint. So I'm going to set a little of this aside. It's pretty close. And I'm going to mix up an even lighter, more yellow variant. Pretty darn close. I'm going to set that aside. And now, I want to get into the greens and the browns of the water. There's some beautiful tones, kind of muddy, grayish, brown, grayish, green tones in the water. Really beautiful. I'm going to take what I have left here, and I'm going to use up the rest of this bluish shadow color. Try to get that grayish, greenish main color of the water. So I grabbed some sap green to mix in. It's a little intense. Green's a little intense. So if I add a little more of the remaining pale brown color, That'll help. Now the value's too light, so I'm going to add some blue, ultramarine blue. Oh, that's coming along. That's about it. That's nice. So I'll grab that pile. That's for my water. Now I need a darker green shade of that. So I'll take what's left. I'll add some more sap green. Add just a little of this to dull the green and darken it. Pour some a little more. Brown to bring down the intensity and bring down the value. That's good. That's a good second color for the water. So now I'll take a number 4 filbert, bristle filbert, and start laying in these main midtones. Now you see the light on the boulder has popped up. Let me show you. There's a nice highlight on the boulder there. So I'm going to remember that and maybe grab that. Try to picture that a little bit later in the process. Well, here's the finished painting, at least as finished as it's going to get here outdoors. I'll take it back to the studio and clean it up a bit and post the finished painting, the final painting, on my website. It was a really beautiful evening here. The mosquitoes did finally show up, so I had to apply a little bit of bug spray. I just love being out here in the woods beside a running stream, beautiful sound, clean air, just the feel of it. It's so nice here. I enjoyed doing the painting. I think there's something there. I may need to touch it up a bit, but thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy hiking and painting. I appreciate you joining me.
If you like these videos, please like and subscribe.